A number of high-profile fatal traffic accidents recently have once again drawn attention to China's appalling road safety record. In the last week or so alone, a bridge collapse killed 3 truckers, a double-decker bus exploded, as we mentioned, after hitting a methanol tanker, 36 dead there, and a van carrying 12 people, including 7 children, smashed into a stationary vehicle, killing all on board. Amongst the heated arguments over whether substandard traffic infrastructure, dangerous vehicles, or indeed poor driving skills are to blame, one important aspect about the number of deaths themselves has come to light. Records from the World Health Organization show serious discrepancies in the official Ministry of Public Security statistics. A WHO report says that in 2007, when Chinese government data showed 80,000 traffic deaths, its research came up with almost 3 times that figure. The WHO also pointed out the astonishing fact that while over the past 5 years the number of vehicles in China has more than doubled, at the same time the number of people killed in road accidents purportedly dropped by 6% every year. And the report showed the number of traffic fatalities reported by the Ministry of Public Security, the police, was less than half the number indicated by China's own Ministry of Health. However, state media happily used the suspect figures. In 2010, the People's Daily ran a headline that claimed blithely, China's road traffic toll down 30% from 2004 to 2009. So what do net users make of all this confusion, and just why is there so much carnage on China's roads? Well, to hear what the online community makes of it, let's check in with our researcher, Esther Dahl. Okay, Esther, this all sounds a little suspicious. So what sort of comments are you seeing online regarding these sort of odd official figures and the discrepancies about these road deaths tolls?
Well, based on the comments I've seen, the majority of Chinese net users simply don't believe the official data on road deaths published by the Chinese authorities. I've come across plenty of confused posters with questions like this one from a poster called First 0088, who asks, "We have more cars but fewer road accident deaths. Should we consider this as something good, or is there actually something fishy going on behind this data?" And this net user, Fei27 on 车祸.cn is a little more direct in voicing his doubts. "The number of vehicles is increasing, but the number of deaths is dropping. Wow, congratulations. Is it because our government is so good at regulating the traffic, or because they are so good at making up figures?" And then there are a lot more posters who take this a step further and complain about unbelievable data from other official sources as well, like An Qiong, who comes to this conclusion. "The official data in China is always trying to exaggerate the positive things and diminish negative things. There's so much inaccuracy in these official figures." And this poster on Sohu.com also shares his or her own observation. "Well, once there is a death toll involved, the local governments will try every means to make the number as small as possible. But when it comes to the number of things like how many houses are falling apart, they prefer to make the number as big as possible." But there's still a small group of believers who say we shouldn't jump to conclusions so quickly. One typical example is this cautious net user on hc1.cn. "Well, it's really hard to say which figures we should believe, so don't come to a judgment so fast."
Well, apart from that last poster, it seems not a lot of faith in the rosy official picture painted there of decreasing road deaths and safer roads. But if the figures are, let's say at the very least, massaged, what reasons do net users feel are behind these statistical inexactitudes?
Well, first off, I'd like to say that on lots of occasions, when fatal accidents do occur, the official explanations are often very vague with stock phrases like investigation is still underway or the relatives of the dead people are holding up well, but nothing that concrete, often until the interest has blown over. And lots of net users seem to be really fed up with this kind of approach and apparently have little confidence in the authorities. So when it comes to these traffic accident death figures, most seem to firmly believe the authorities are making up these figures in order not to damage their political positions or even to improve their chances of promoting. That's because fewer accidents and deaths in an official's patch means a higher performance evaluation. I've got this comment from a poster named Hu Guoqing from the lesson.com. It's possible that they don't want to report the real numbers. Otherwise, they would receive criticism from the central government for poor management. And 运筹帷幄 on Sohu.com has this. When such tragedies happen, all local officials think of is how to get as much compensation as possible and how to keep their jobs. And also, lots of posters are angry about this kind of mindset, which shows very little real concern for the
Why do net users feel the situation is so bad?
Well, I've seen plenty of reasons put forward. First, let's listen to Li Hainian on Shangdu.com. First, we have too many cars. I've seen reports saying that there are over 200 million cars and buses in China. And what's worse, we have so many unprofessional drivers. Actually, as long as you pay hundreds or thousands of dollars to the driving schools, you can get a driving license. Never mind about all the drunken driving cases. And this user on ChinaHighway.com has this to offer. Overloaded buses, overworked drivers, and speeding cars are three main reasons. And actually, lots of road accidents happen during the period from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Finally, we have Ping An Gushi, who seem to push the blame away from drivers. Lots of pedestrians like traffic awareness. If they stayed on the sidewalk and paid attention to the traffic lights instead of crossing the streets whenever they want, the number of accidents would certainly drop. And also, we don't have this user on ChinaHighway.com has this to offer. Overloaded buses, overworked drivers, and speeding cars are three main reasons. And actually, lots of road accidents happen during the period from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Finally, we have Ping An Gushi, who seem to push the blame away from drivers. Lots of pedestrians like traffic awareness. If they stayed on the sidewalk and paid attention to the traffic lights instead of crossing the streets whenever they want, the number of accidents would certainly drop. And also, we don't have good traffic design and infrastructure, especially in towns and villages where you can see vehicles, bikes, and pedestrians all share the same space.
Okay, thanks for that, Esther. And that was China Take researcher Esther Dung with online reaction to road fatalities and some credibility-stretching statistics coming from the authorities.